The Colts are currently 2.5-point favorites for the Saturday night showdown. The Pacers take on the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks tonight on the road. Indiana had a 3-game winning streak snapped Monday against the Warriors. Tip-off at 8 Eastern in Milwaukee. And former IU quarterback Michael Penix Jr. announced he is transferring to the University of Washington. He'll reunite with former Hoosiers offensive coordinator Kalen DeBoer, who was recently named the head coach of the Huskies. Penix spent 4 seasons in Bloomington, but suffered season-ending injuries each year. For Network Indiana Sports, I'm Sam Rupsa.
Very warm in.
This is a very special day. The breeze took the clouds all away. It swept the sky like a broom and got ready for a very special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror, and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
And a good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. It's a wonderful Wednesday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning is Bradley Gilbert. Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
Glad to get you back. And
back.
You've been a Floridian for a little while.
I was about 9 days in Florida.
Sunshine
So, it was nice.
I told him, I said, don't you dare come back too dark. You know what I'm saying? Because then all of us are we're gonna really
wear my bucket hat sometime, to be safe.
Yeah, take good care of your skin. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, in the hot seat this morning. So glad to have it. Of course, we love this time of year, and it is a fun time of year. We just are very thankful for sure. Our wonderful police officers. We have Eric Mills with us. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Becky. How are you?
Good. We have the sheriff set up straight. We have our Sheriff Brent Miller with us. Good morning, Brent.
Morning, Becky.
Yay. And, it's always a fun time of the year, and we're going to be talking about Shop with the Cop this morning.
Yeah, it seems like we were just here yesterday talking about Shop with the Cop.
I know.
It goes
So
quick.
I know, for sure. All right, Bradley, let's thank our sponsors.
All right, we've got Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Kentuckiana Cat and Toy Recycling, Dr. Blackside Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Lee Wealth Management.
All right, wonderful sponsors. Also want to say tonight is Mr. SHS, and that's always a fun time. It's a good fundraiser for the Lady Lions basketball team. And some young man will be crowned Mr. SHS. And if they have to learn to dance, they have to learn now, guys, this was before, they didn't do this years ago, but would you have participated in Eric?
I'm sure I would have back then.
What about you, Brent? Would you?
Oh, I don't know.
Brad?
Probably not. No.
Well, you have to give a big kudos to these young men because they have to have a talent and they have to dance. I mean, there's a lot that goes involved in it, but of course it's always fun. And I bet you three would have done something.
That's my problem. I don't have a talent.
So I'm with you on that. I'm like, well, I would have been eliminated after the first round. That was a talent thing. So, okay.
Well, it's a fun time. 7 o'clock tonight at the Salem Middle School, and it's a fun time for a good fundraiser. All right, we're on to the 15th day of December, 10 days away for all you shoppers out there. 10 shopping days for all you woodcutters out there. 10 chopping days. So chop away or shop away. Today is the Bill of Rights Day. Okay. This is also Cat Herders Day. Have you ever done something or trying to round up children or something and I feel like I'm cat herding?
Yes. That's every day sometimes, right?
Yeah.
International Tea Day. Eric, do you drink tea?
I do. I don't actually drink coffee. I drink tea.
Oh,
So.
good too. Very good. Very good. What about you, Brett?
Same here. I actually go through the drive-thru every morning and get my unsweet tea every morning.
Oh, there you go, Bradley.
Yeah, I'm an unsweet tea guy.
Yeah, me too. Me too. National Cupcake Day. Eric, if I was going to bring a cupcake, what kind would I be bringing you?
Probably any of them. I'm definitely a cupcake. I'd eat anything.
All right, like good answer, Brent.
That was my answer. He took my answer. Any cupcake's a good
My
cupcake.
favorite's red velvet.
Oh, have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that. And this is also national. It's funny that it's also National Lemon Cupcake Day. I take a lemon cupcake.
I would eat that.
Yep.
National Wear Your Pearls Day. So I didn't wear my pearls today, so missed that one. But get out and enjoy for sure. All right, Bradley, let's find out. You got 10 days till Christmas. How's Walmart doing over there?
It's doing great. It's doing great. We've got all kinds of we've still got all kinds of merchandise, but I will tell you the Christmas candy is flying out the door. It's going, and so we've still got a lot of sales, and we've got a lot of decorations still. So we're going to be going hot and heavy until then. And I do want to remind everybody, we are so appreciative of our customers this year, and the year that we've had has been challenging for a lot of folks, but our customers, we got the best. I would say this community's got the best customers out there, and we're so proud. But our online grocery has later hours, so if you need to order your groceries and pick them up, you have those. And
so that has started.
That's started. Wonderful. Yes, and on Christmas Eve, we are closing our doors at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and we are closed Christmas Day. We just ask that our customers start getting their stuff to the checkouts, and so our customers are great. But we want our associates to get out of there as close to 6:30 as we can. So, but yeah, we've still got all kinds of stuff going on, and online groceries going good. So
love that, and I love that you have opened it up a little bit later.
Yes,
that's nice for anybody that's going to run a little later or something.
And you can do drop-in orders if you're a Walmart Plus customer. You can, if you get it in before 4 p.m., you can get your online grocery dropped in and have it within 2 hours. So even if it says it's full, we have those drop-ins, and we're doing great. So that's a good benefit for Walmart Plus customers.
And remind everybody about the drive-through pharmacy. You don't even have to go in, should you be sick or something. Yep. These are good, because, I know we talk about COVID, but also you got flus, you got all kinds of, what other things maybe that's going on too.
Flu shots are available, COVID shots are available, boosters are available, shingle shots, tetanus shots, anything that you might need. So, and they're walk-in. You don't have to make an appointment for that. So you can walk in. As long as you're there an hour before the pharmacy closes at 7 p.m., you're good to go.
I saw a tree and it just had ornaments on it that said "No needles here." Those that are a little bit afraid of needles, be careful.
But we still got stocking stuffers and all kinds of
Yes, you do. And you had actually, I stay up with you. Okay, yes. I don't miss Walmart sales. Yes. You have your wreaths on sale, and you had some garland on sale too. Yes. So, and I love that for people that maybe are looking for, haven't got their decorations up yet, or looking for something. And especially those maybe that are like a new home or a new apartment, or or newly married, or just out on your own, and you don't want to spend a fortune on ornaments and decorations and stuff. You don't have to.
Right. Right. And right now, our .com business is free shipping to your home or free to the store to pick up, and we'll carry it out. The large item tickets, we'll carry it out for you, just like your groceries. You don't have to even come to the service desk anymore and sign in there. You just sign in on the app, and we will bring it out to your vehicle and send you on your way. So you don't have to get out if you're concerned about that.
And toys, you got all kinds of
stuff. Oh, yes, toys. And electronics. We're going to have electronics on sale all the way through January 1st, because you got to think about not just for Christmas getting TVs. You got playoffs coming up and all the sports things and all that.
Yeah.
So all that coming on. So yeah, absolutely. Santa's still alive and well at Walmart.
He is. And we are super excited about that. And I know that Eric and Brent are very, very appreciative, and I know I am for sure, and the rest of this community, how Walmart is getting ready. And the date of Shop with a Cop, and how you plan a little bit extra to make sure that the shelves are stocked and full and ready for the officers and everybody involved to get shopping.
Oh, absolutely. And we're just, you guys do such a great job with that for our community, and we're just blessed to get to be a small part of that. And so the folks over there, they take that very seriously, and I think they do a good job making sure that you guys have a good selection, and you guys are taking good care of the kiddos in the community and things like that. And we appreciate you guys letting us be a small part of that. So
love that. All right, well, let's go back and let's talk about Shop with the Cop, and of course we're also going to talk about cramming the car,
Cram the Cruiser.
Cram the Cruiser. And of course, you wouldn't. I put that up the other day, and I had so many messages. What's a Cram the Cruiser? So we're going to. We got a lot of people that are very curious that are we're gonna tell about that this morning. But also, let's talk about the history of Shop with the Cop in our community. I always love to. I know we do it every year. Eric and Brent, we talk about it, but I just love to hear the stories and everything about it. I mean,
it's a long tradition that we've been carrying on. It's been a great program. Brent's been here just a few more years than I have.
Just a few.
So, but Brent may well tell you about this. I don't know. I'm going to guess probably 30 years ago.
Yeah.
At least the Shop with the Cop program began, and I think Marlon Robinson was one of the key players in getting that going.
He and Eugene Helm and some of those guys
Gary
from back
Bush,
then. Bill Rudell.
Yeah.
Some of those guys
so
from way back.
Back when, I guess, I don't know, what was it, Ames or Pomida back then?
Yeah. Oh, wow, that is true. Yeah.
So,
and you go back and you think about the seeds that these, and I hope they're listening. I know Marlon listens from time to time, and I hope he's listening, because you think about the seeds they planted, and and the ideas of thinking, let's do this, and what a great, but how happy they'd have to be to see it growing and where we're at today.
Oh, definitely. I was talking to an organization the other day, and they asked me how many kids over that approximately 30 years that have been, helped, and it started making me think there's been thousands of kids, because we shop for 120 kids a year for the last, how many years?
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids that have been affected. It's something that's very rewarding for the officers and the kids. And we both benefit from it, because I think the officers are just as excited as the kids that morning.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do this without the community, Becky. The community has really been great for the Shop with a Cop program. They really come out and they give, and that's the reason we can do this. And I know that we are one of the biggest Shop with a Cop programs around in this area, and have been for a really long time. And we couldn't do that without the community. Their generosity, and the generosity of Walmart and Marie Lowry. Over the years.
She was fantastic. Yeah.
So we're definitely going to miss her. Getting cold chills talking about it.
I know.
She was a key helper in Shop with a Cop. She's done so much, her and her family. So
absolutely.
And we're lucky enough that Walmart, the new ownership, is going to continue, or the new McDonald's owners are going to continue to help Shop with a Cop. So
yeah. Well, and you have to realize how important it is to our community. You go back, think about, okay, those children. Let's go back. Let's say 30 years ago. So maybe they were 5. So some of them are 35, 40, or whatever. You know what I mean? How wonderful. For them to know and to go back, those memories and those seeds of kindness and those seeds of how important it is. I mean, were planted.
Yeah, and I still have relationships, and it's not been 30 years, but it's probably been, I don't know, 15, 20. It all runs together after a certain amount of. We talked about this last
You
year.
realize? Are you catching on that Eric's really showing that he's the youngest one in the room?
Yes.
Is everybody kind of realizing
It's like
Eric?
the second or
Eric's
third
pointing to me,
time.
Eric, we will
All
say
right,
it
I'll try to-
publicly.
I
You
think
are the
you maybe
youngest
said
one.
old timers a couple of times.
I just wanted to know. I'm feeling a vibe from Eric to make sure that he realizes that he classifies from us three.
I'm
in
not
the room.
too far behind, but yeah.
I'm feeling it, Eric.
So over the years, that relationship the officers have had with their kids, that's where I was going with it. It continues. And like I said, I think we talked about it last year. Tara and my wife and I took a family several years ago, and we stayed connected with them through Facebook and phone calls. And one of the kids we took is now in the military serving.
Oh.
His brother's doing really well. His mother's doing awesome, has a job now. And actually, it's been 2 or 3 years ago, they were in front of Walmart ringing the bell, helping give back to the community after they had so it's just neat to see that all come together.
Yeah.
And
Do you find that? Yeah, I'm sure that it happens a lot where someone you've helped or you've had, been a part with, shop with the cop, and then when they become an adult or realize, and then they give back.
yeah,
And that kind of, that just kind of is almost like it's almost like they realize how important it is and what it meant to them.
right. And there's a person in my head that I'm thinking about did exactly that. We helped for years, and they were able to get on their feet financially. And they came into the police department one day and asked for me and donated quite a bit of money just because they knew, how much it helped them when they needed it. So.
Right.
And I think that's important to think about. And I think you guys mentioned it earlier. Our community is giving, even in tough times.
Absolutely.
And when things. We have a resilient community, but we have a caring community. I mean, you hear a lot of negative things, on Facebook and social media and everything. But I think if you really peel all that away, we've got great people in the community that are so committed to giving to others. And it's good to see even the tough times people. And there's a lot of people that have been helped in our community that are so appreciative and try to find a way to give back and pay forward and things like that. So I think that in this Shop with the Cop is a great example of people coming together even in the toughest times, and when you hear a lot about the negative, it's good to see the positive.
Absolutely. So let's kind of go over and of course explain maybe for those that are not familiar with how do we get the children, or how do we kind of go over the process of how that works.
Yeah, this year it's changed a little bit. The Angel Tree program put out the applications and brought back in the applications, and then we kind of were divvied out from the Angel Tree.
Okay.
So it's changed up a little bit this year, and it's a learning curve for us. But so this year again, we're going to shop for around 100 kids this coming Saturday.
I think it's fantastic, and usually, and kind of tell the format of what usually you're shopping for. Kind of explain like what usually.
Yeah, so it starts early on Saturday morning. The officers get out, and usually they'll take their wives or with them and go pick up the children out in the county and then the city. So
that's always fun.
Oh yeah, I remember when I first started that I wanted to go because I work for the city and I'm stuck in like a 3 square mile box as far as my jurisdiction. So Shop with a Cop Day, I wanted to find the kids the farthest away from Salem. That way I could get out. But yeah, the officers will go pick up the children that morning and then bring them to Walmart. We'll arrive around 8 o'clock and do our shopping. Once the shopping's done, we will have a parade where the kids get to play with the lights and sirens.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
You always had that one child that just, really loves it.
Yeah. As soon as they get in the car, that siren is turned on and it don't turn off until you have to drag them out of the car.
I literally sit there and listen, and I'm like, there's somebody that's really liking it.
And that speaks to Becky, right?
Yeah,
that
it does. That would be
You'd be the first
that's
one
my
in,
spirit right there. Yes, absolutely.
It's great. Yeah. So we'll shop at Walmart, and then once we're done from there, we have the parade, and then we go to the Brady Shrimp School where the school's been gracious, and they'll open up, and Matt Gorman and the custodial
Wonderful.
staff there are
Fantastic.
great, and that's where we have our breakfast at, and that's furnished by McDonald's. And then once that's complete, then the officers will take the children home with their gifts. And that's one of the unique things about our program too, is a lot of other Shop with a Cop events, officers will just shop alone and then take and drop off at the house. So this one's pretty unique in the fact that we get to go pick them up. We get to have a parade and a breakfast and spend time and actually build a relationship with the kids while we have them.
And
Love
that's important with everything that's been going on, on the national level last year and a half, things like that. Those relationships that you form and the bonds that you make with those kids and stuff, that's important, And kind of like Eric said, you'll get these kids that years later will come up to you and speak to you and stuff because they remember you from Shop with the Cop. There's some kids that, they've grown up, they've changed so much. Initially, I may not recognize them until they say, "You remember that time you took us with Shop with the Cop?" And yeah, then they'll start telling you about it. It's kind of great to watch these kids grow up and then still come up and talk to you down the road years later and be appreciative for what you did for them and things. And, you get some really great kids in this program that really makes you enjoy that day. It's a special day. And then talk about that parade Eric's talking about. It's always kind of amazed me too, the business owners that'll come out and wave to the kids. And you go down South Main Street, and there's quite a few businesses there on South Main Street. The owners come out and be waving at the kids, and they think they're celebrities, and it's great.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and going back on the, I think we've said this before, and just kind of, a lot of times, when you, and I mean this, I hope this comes out right, but when you see a police officer, it's not always necessarily a good situation. There might be something, it's not always a good situation. And this is bringing the light and showing police officers and conservation officers and firemen, or everybody that's involved, that come out to show, and just like a fireman, usually if they show up, there's a huge fire going on or something, it's a tragic, right? And, so it's a blessing to see the other side and see where you actually, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it gives us a different environment to see the kids. You're exactly right, because a lot of times it is a bad situation, a domestic situation, or something going on when they see us. And kind of going off that, that's what I was saying earlier, the kids benefit and officers benefit. A lot of times we see car crashes with deaths, suicides, drugs, just all the bad stuff. And it gets, if you do that for several years, you start to think, my goodness, everything's bad. But, Shop with a Cop Day gives us a chance, just like we're talking about, and the kids see that not everything's bad. Today's a good day, and there's a lot of good people.
Definitely, and that's so important. And kind of going back, maybe for those that are new in the community, and maybe not, or just kind of reminder, you kind of get a profile of each child that you're shopping for, and kind of like and then someone has filled out like what their needs are, and you kind of get those first, maybe underwear, socks, pants, clothing, or whatever, and then the all famous a toy.
That's right. And Walmart does a great job in making sure that they're prepared. We're prepared to have enough jackets and, like you're talking about, socks and shoes, the things that the kids really need. And every year they have enough for us, and they're prepared, and it's great. So, but they always want that toy too at the end.
Oh, so, yeah. That's the exciting part.
Well, I'd say that, and we've talked about this too before. I think there's some families that the kids don't want the toys. They want bedding. They want something for their mom or their brother or sister. So we see that once a year at least, where there's a kid that doesn't necessarily want to be picking for somebody for himself. He's thinking about his family and their struggles.
That's good. And we were talking about the Walmart folks, the Walmart associates to help get ready for this. They love it. They absolutely love it. But on the day itself, the associates that are there watching and helping and all that, it's just one of the best times of the year to be a Walmart associate, just to get to be involved in that and see that and everything. And so it just reminds everybody that.
And they're all smiles. Everybody is just so happy. I mean, it is a really a fun time. And I know that, like you guys, I want to say behind the scenes, Walmart orders like special coats, extra coats. I mean, you guys like winter coats, I mean, you prepare for this day. And I just think that, isn't that awesome, that how personal they know Shop with the Cop's going to be on the 18th, and they know this is coming up. And so Walmart plans for that to make sure that the supply is plentiful for the picking.
Oh yeah, they'll reach out to me, months before when they know a date, so they can be prepared for that day.
Yeah.
So, and then they'll close down. We'll have a couple lanes where the Shop with the Cop kids can go through, and the regular customers aren't held up by that. But it's funny talking about the other customers that morning. They're just walking around watching the kids.
I know they do. No, I
Absolutely.
know. Yes, they do. It's really, absolutely.
And there's been numerous times after we're done shopping, we're out in the parking lot. One of the customers will come up and last year handed me $100 bill. So put that for next year's Shop with the Cop. So the customers that are in there really enjoy seeing it too, I think.
Right. And that's a good point because, the account is always like anytime you want to feed it. No matter if it's March, April, May, whatever day, if you come into a little bit of money or something or whatever, or anytime you feel that, or maybe you have a little bit of extra or something, I hate to say it because it's not very much to be extra, but like if you have something you want to donate, you can donate anytime to Shop with the Cop.
Yeah, and we even got several checks this year sent to us that were in memory of, in memory of people. And, and it seems like every year the money is kind of slow coming in, but then right before Shop with the Cop, it always comes in. People always come through and the donations come rolling in at the last minute. And if there's enough there to take care of the needs. And even if there's some situations after Shop with the Cop, that arise, emergency situations and stuff. And if we still have the need or the finances to take care of those needs, we'll take care of those too.
Yeah. And going off of that, one thing that I'm proud of is we don't call people or ask them for money or solicit. They just know every Christmas that we do this, and they'll bring money year round, and they can bring it to the city police department or the Washington County Sheriff's Department, and we collect it year round and get ready for the following year.
Yeah.
And we've said this before, Becky, and I want to just make this comment again, just to assure people that 100% of the Shop with the Cop money that is donated goes to Shop with the Cop here locally to help local kids. That money doesn't get used to fund the lodge or paid to support the lodge or anything like that. 100% of that money that people donate goes right back into the kids, the children here in Washington County.
I think that's important. I think
Yes,
a lot of people want to know that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's helping right here at home for sure. Well, and it's a fun time, and it's going to be a busy time, but also you've added a little bit. So we have Shop with the Cop, but then let's talk about the Cram the Cruiser. Let's,
For those who don't know what Cram the Cruiser is, that's something that there's law enforcement's always looking for ways to give back to their community and things. And Cram the Cruiser is not something that's new. It's kind of like Shop with the Cop. That Cram the Cruiser has actually been around for a little while as well. For us, though, that's something new for local law enforcement, and we've talked about it for a while. And last year, Police Chief Tim Miller and I got together and talked about jointly going in and starting this Cram the Cruiser program. And we approached Walmart about it, and of course Walmart eagerly jumped on board immediately. We went to the JC store and talked with the manager there, and they were all in, jumped in. Eric jumped right into the game last year and wanted to be a part of that. Nathan Modlin, and so we kind of split up. Made this a couple of team effort here. Eric and Nathan went and manned the JC store last year, and Timmy and I took the Walmart store, and I think Eric and Nathan ended up collecting a lot more stuff than what me and Timmy did.
We were talking.
And it turned out.
It was
Socializing.
Yeah.
It was definitely a surprise. It was the first year that you put it on
First year.
and really didn't know what to expect. And my goodness, I don't know how many police cars we filled up full of.
I'll be honest, my personal goal that year was to hopefully they filled up a car at the JC store, and we filled up one at the Walmart, and we filled up at least 6 police cars last year.
They almost been my coffee out. Oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
there were over
great.
5,000 food items donated, and Paul Cyphers at the local food bank said that was probably the biggest single donation ever made to the local food bank. So we were really excited, and on top of all that, I don't remember what the dollar amount was now, but we took in several $100s worth of cash donations last year as well. And, and it was kind of, like Eric said, it's kind of, a really unique situation as people were just coming up with shopping carts full of food and handing you money and things. And we even had a few people that even brought some gifts out, to to give to the Shop with a Cop program to kids and stuff, even though that took place the day before. Those gift items then went to Southern Hills Church, which, spearheads the local program and stuff like that. And so it was really a good time. We done a lot better than I ever thought we would do.
Yeah,
And I don't know what to expect this year, other than I think the community will come together for us again. And again, everything that we collect there at Walmart and the JC store, it goes straight to the local food bank to help the local people here in Washington County. And Paul Cyphers has been great to deal with. I can't imagine somebody coming to me with over 5,000 items of food and saying, here you go, find a place to put all this and things to do with it. And I'll tell you,
it makes him a little nervous, but he gets it.
That's a good problem
Yeah,
to
that is
have,
a good
right?
problem to have. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And I again, you go back to talking about the community and things, and how giving the community is and stuff. It's just amazing how the community just keeps coming together. And so, we're going to make this an annual event, and we're going to follow Shop with a Cop just like we did last year. So that way it kind of helps people be able to relate the dates and stuff and keep it straight. Shop with a Cop is on Saturday, and the following day they do the Cram the Cruiser food drive. And I think our Cram the Cruiser food drive is going to be a huge success, just like the Shop with a Cop program, just because we live in the great community that we live in. Because again, like I said, we couldn't do the things we do without the support of the community, and they really support local law enforcement here. We're happy to do the things that we can do to give back to our community.
I am so thankful that we live in a county and a city that we do support our local law enforcement, because when I can't say enough behind your back how well I talk about you guys, and Brad does too. We've both talked, because we're very thankful for you guys and gals and everybody that's involved, because you hate emergencies, but boy, when you need one, you can be happier to see one of you guys pull up. And
yeah, I get asked a lot, why do you stay in law enforcement? Why do you want to do this? If it wasn't for the support of you guys in the community, it would be tough, but it makes it a lot easier for us to do our job and help people when we have the support of the community, for definitely.
Well, and I know our community, you do, and we're very thankful. And if you ever, I always say this, but if you ever look at the logs of a dispatcher's log all night long, and when we lay our head down on the pillow or whatever, it's so amazing.
There's a whole another life after midnight.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't speak for the city police department for their numbers and things, but I do know, I tell people, Denny Stempowski is my number cruncher for our department. She writes our grants and things, so I have her keep me up on statistics and things, and I can tell you that last year we responded over 18,000 calls for service. It's better than 50 calls a day for service. I don't think people realize just how many calls a day come through law enforcement for assistance, because people call the police today for things they never used to call the police for 20 years ago. And, we're still trying to run our departments with, a small number of officers and things. And yet more and more keeps getting put on law enforcement every day, because we wear a lot of hats, in the law enforcement community. You're also marriage counselors when you're out there, and you do a lot of things, and probably one of the biggest things that I try to preach to our younger officers is a lot of times just being able to listen to people. Sometimes you can't do a whole lot to help people out, but at least you can listen to them, let them vent and things. And sometimes that's all people need to be, is just heard. They need to be able to vent about stuff. But, there are a lot of calls for service that go out every day. And sometimes we ask the public, to try to be patient. I know when something goes on, you want something and you want it now. But we get tied up, we get busy, and there's just so many calls for law enforcement that it runs us crazy sometimes, trying to answer all the calls and things. And we try to do the best we can.
And I think it's good reminders. It's just good to remind everyone, there's, I think that, of course, you go, through the years, or for each few years, it's not been the most attractive job. For a lot of people, and trying to recruit and try to get that, I guess to get other officers or to get people to want to be officers. Isn't that a little bit?
It's very tough nowadays.
That feeder program is not there. The getting people groomed and ready. Right?
There used to be people lined up to come into law enforcement. That's really done a 180, and it's not that way now. And there's many reasons why, but it's definitely a tough job, but it's a very rewarding job too. So.
Well, I think it's important for people to understand too, just from my perspective, is that even if you are not ever in a situation where you need a member of law enforcement, the things you guys do every day for other people and for the community helps us stay safe to where we may not need that, types of services and things like that. And that's just as important. That's just as important, I think. You don't have to have needed to call, Brent Miller to be protected by Brent Miller and everybody over the city too. I mean, it's important to remember that, I think.
I do too. I agree. Yeah. Well, and then when there's a special event or something going on, or when you see an officer come in, or just driving by, it means a lot. Because it's just nice to know that, and to see. And a lot of times, you guys, that just really matters, to our community. And you guys are so visual and so involved in the community. You catch every one of you at a game somewhere or something going on because you have families here too. I think the heart. I think that's it, and I think that's what it takes to be an officer these days.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you definitely got to be caring
and love our community and be a part of our community.
Yep, most definitely.
Well, and I think it's important that, as police officers, we give back to our community, and I got some great officers on our department. The city police department's got some great officers there, and you'll see that, you've got police officers at both departments that, coach youth sports teams and things like that. And they're always looking to do things to give back to their community. And that's important, again, to build those relationships with the young people and stuff. And it's very important, and all the schools have SROs in them, which I think is important too.
That.
To have SROs in the school that, can, again, form those relationships between law enforcement and kids to show that, the police are there to help you when you need help. But we don't want kids to be afraid of that. Something that parents don't think about a lot of times is, they'll be in a restaurant somewhere or something, or in the store, and their kids act up, and they say, "You better straighten up, or that police officer going to take you to jail."
I tell Brad that all the time.
And
all the time. Brad,
the thing about that is, though, some kids actually become afraid of police officers because of that, and we don't really want those kids to be afraid of us.
Right.
Because if they really do get in a situation where they need help, we want those kids to know that they can go to the police for help. And so sometimes that's not always the best thing to do, to say, "You better straighten up, or they're going to take you to jail."
But we as parents try to use anything we can use. Okay?
Oh, I get it.
Any leverage we can use.
I get that.
I think it was an eye opener when the first time I heard that being said, because I never thought of that. I never realized. A lot of times as parents, you try to use the leverage.
Yes.
We have Santa right now. Santa's watching.
Oh yeah.
But but you don't. Always have that. So, but that's just not what we should say. It's just it makes it kind of it makes sense, but you just don't sometimes as a parent think of it that way.
Right.
I get it. And like I said, we're just trying to tear down those walls that get built up, because it's so easy for walls to get built up between you and the young people, and then to be afraid of law enforcement. We don't want them to grow up actually being afraid of law enforcement. We want them to know that we're here to help them, and and if they need help, to be able to reach out to the police, or their especially the school kids, reach out to your school resource officer. They're a great resource for the kids, and we've got some really good school resource officers in the county, and we're very fortunate to have a good working relationship with our schools like we do and stuff too. And, we got some great schools here in our community.
We do.
We do.
And we're very blessed for sure. And I think it's good good reminders to remind everybody of this. When a lot of times we maybe don't think of it that way and realize, oh, wow, the words we're saying or what we're, and also, showing our children that you are people, you are a person, and you can come up and talk to you can have, and that's important too, when you're somewhere.
Yeah, and like coaching sports and stuff like that does give the opportunity to get out of the uniform and see us as a person that we are.
Right, for sure. Well, those are definitely good reminders, and I think and going back to the food bank, I know our Walmart has been fantastic about helping our food bank, but what a blessing for for the police officers, for you guys to do this too, and helping our food bank and making sure, because we know our food bank actually stays very busy.
I was going to say that there's a great need, and I don't know if people really see, if you pay attention, there has been an uprise on people, that need food here in the community. There's a food bank down on, I believe it's on Water Street, that people fill up the food box there, and you see people down there all the time using it. So
yeah. So if they don't know about that location, besides the food bank's also on Water Street, but then there's that box down on the other end of Water Street, down near the railroad tracks. That people put stuff in there on a daily basis, and people come there and take stuff out of there on a daily basis. So if people have a few extra canned goods or something like that, or when they come to town, pick up an extra item or two and stick in there. Because I know there's people constantly asking me, because they can only go to the food bank so often, and I've had people come to us and say, we go to the food bank, but we still don't get enough. We still need other resources, and we'll try to help them find resources. And so, with that being said, we've also taken this Cram the Cruiser stuff a little bit further than that. We've also implemented, we got our drug drop program that goes on, and we do that quarterly now, something that the city police and the Washington County Sheriff's Department jointly go in on. And we also do food drives at the same time we do those drive-through drug drops now. When you drive through there, you can drop off your expired, unneeded, or unwanted prescription medications for us to dispose of properly. And you can also drop off food items for the food bank, because we do collect food items. We're actually starting to get quite a few food items when we do those. And again, all that goes right back to the local food bank here. And the city police has always had a drug drop up there at their department for quite a few years now. And we decided in 2019 that we would become a location where people could do that. And so we've got, basically, it looks like a U.S. Post Office mailbox out in our lobby there at the Justice Center that's painted up. It's white, and it says drug drop on it. It tells you what you can and can't drop in there. And so in October of 2019, we started our program to partner with the city, and we have collected to this date 467 pounds of prescription medication. And that's not the weight of the bottles and everything else. We always separate that stuff, and that's the actual weight of drugs that have been destroyed and stuff. Because after we do those drug drops, immediately the stuff goes to a local incinerator, and we incinerate it that day, right then and there. It gets burned, and that's the proper way to really just get rid of your prescription medications and stuff like that. Because we have a lot of people that have a family member that passes away or something, and they go into their house and clean it up, and there's all this medication, they don't know what to do with it. Well, the city police, Salem City Police Department there, they have a drug drop box in their lobby. It's available 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can walk in there, no questions asked, open the door and just drop the stuff inside there and get it disposed of. And out at the Sheriff's Department, it's a little different out there because of COVID and things. Our building is open from 8 to 4, the Justice Center where the box is there in the lobby. So you can come in between 8 and 4 and drop things off there at the Sheriff's Department as well. Again, like I said, no questions asked, walk in, drop the stuff in the box and walk out. It really doesn't get much simpler than that, but we did want to make it even easier for people. And that's why we started these drive-throughs. And quarterly we do the drive-throughs, and we've had some interest in the Campbellsburg area to have a drive-through out there. So we've been talking with Marshal Joe Keltner about that, and we are in the process of setting up a drug drop-off drive-through out in the Campbellsburg area, so that the people of Campbellsburg can be able to do that too, and not have to bring it into town, and try to make it a little more convenient for people to drop off. And you'd be surprised, Becky, we collected 76.5 pounds the last day of October at our drive-through drug drop, and we have emptied our box in the lobby twice since then.
Wow.
And, so there's big need for it. And when people do come through, they say, I'm glad you guys do this, because we didn't know where to get rid of this medication now. Because you can also drop that stuff off at CVS. CVS also has a drop box up there, and you can drop it off in there at CVS too. However, they've got business hours. And like I said, the best place 24/7 is the Salem City Police Department, even if it's after hours. So there's always somebody open somewhere that take that stuff so that you can get rid of it.
That's a blessing. I think it's a good reminder that not to have it. Get it out of there. A lot of times, and of course, I know, we don't want to flush it, and we don't want to, put it in landfill. So this is the way to go.
Yeah, it gets it out of the hands of, maybe a little kid may get a hold of it on an accident or something like that. So.
Yeah, you don't want that stuff laying around.
Yeah, you just don't know how much that stuff will end up on the street somewhere too. So it takes it off the street and potentially out of the hands of children and things like that. Yeah. It's a good service for the people, and like I said, we want to make it as easy as they can, and it's no questions asked. Just drive through the Sheriff's Department parking lot, and an officer will be waiting, and just take it out of your hand and you drive off.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And you don't realize that amount, that's a huge impact.
Sure.
It's a huge impact to our community in a positive way. So absolutely take advantage.
I didn't
of
realize there were so
program.
many, so much. That's a lot. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot more than what you think, and like I said, especially even last night, I was contacted by somebody who had a family member pass away this week, and they were cleaning out their medications because they had a lot of controlled substances, and they needed a place to get rid of it. And I said, I will send an officer to your house. You can either drop it off at our drug drop location, or I'll send an officer out to your house. And they wanted an officer to come out, so we sent one out last night to pick it up. And
What a wonderful service.
yeah,
That's good.
Working a crash last week at Walmart in the parking lot, and the lady yells at me from across the parking lot. And she holds up a big bag of medication where she was trying to get rid of. I don't know if somebody passed away or what, but so of course I took it and put it in the box there at the city police department. So it's a good
Wow.
thing to
I mean,
get
those
that
are
stuff.
stories
Yeah.
that the rest of us would never know. I mean, that's just, yeah. Well, it's a great service, and what a blessing for our community for that to get rid of. Yeah. Figure that out. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot going on in there.
oh yeah.
busy.
Well, it's a busy time of year with Christmas coming on, and and we don't. I've not been seeing these problems here like you do in other places, but the old porch pirate is pretty popular this time of year,
Oh.
and like I said, we have other scams that are going on that are typical around Christmas time. There's always scams going on, and again, we try to let the public know, hey, never give out your personal information to people, because my phone, I get text messages on my phone almost every day. There was one I got yesterday wanting to update my information for something, and I wasn't about to update my information for anybody on my phone. And
I am who I am, and I've been here, and I don't need it updated.
The Social Security office, they don't call you.
Right.
They'll send you something in the mail, and if you get a call or text message, you can disregard those. Just hang the phone up on those people. Like I said, the IRS is the same way. IRS don't call you on the telephone, but a lot of scams, people are getting calls, and getting threatened that the IRS is going to do this or do that, or they're going to issue warrants for them. And like I said, the IRS doesn't work that way. And so, but those have been some successful scams. And so they have been for so long. That's why they continue to do those scams, and that's why we just tell people, please don't give out your information. Protect yourself, and you get a phone call and you're suspicious of it, just hang the phone up on them.
Exactly.
Or if you want to verify something, you can
Right.
call the city police department and ask to speak to an officer, or you can call the sheriff's department and ask to speak to an officer, and we'll be more than happy to check things out for you. Let you know.
And that's a good reminder, because we've got systems in place, but we have people this time of year that come every day that I've got a family member that's in a wreck, or I got to get somebody out of jail, and I got to wire money to this certain thing, or I have to buy a gift card and give the gift card numbers to somebody over the phone and things like that. So
It's amazing how
very
many people
important,
that actually will do that. And the scammers, all they need is a handful of people out of 1,000 phone calls a day to fall for it, and they get quite a bit of money.
yes.
Well, we appreciate your employees, Brad, and the employees that some of the other businesses in town where they sell gift cards and things, because you're right, that's a huge scam that's very successful, and it happens every day. These people get, the grandparent scam is a big one, where they get a call, Grandma, it's me, I've been in a wreck, and I need money, and they don't know for sure. Well, you don't sound like my grandson. Well, that's because I've injured my face in the accident, and they're very good at the stories they tell and things. And then you'll have grandparents that'll go get these gift cards. And once you give them the number off the back of those cards, the money's gone, and we're not going to be able to help you get that back. And there are employees at Walmart and some of these other businesses that will see this stuff and say something to people. And I've actually had people that actually got saved from being victims because of the employees there that were able to spot this stuff and question them about why they're coming in there, and then able to convince some of these people, hey, that's a scam. Don't do that. If you send that money, you're not going to get any of it back, and it's not what you think it is. Because Amazon is a big business out there too, but it's also another big scam this time of year. Because I got a message the other day about my iPhone 13 that I recently bought for $1,000. And if this is you, if you bought this, press 1. If it wasn't you, press 2 or something. I wasn't pressing any buttons. I just deleted it. I didn't order no iPhone 13 from Amazon.
Yeah, we know, Brent, we know that ain't
We
true.
are
We know that one ain't true.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Right now.
So,
I'd still have my flip phone if that was
Yes.
possible.
So it's really simple. If you didn't order something from Amazon that wasn't you, just delete it.
Yeah.
Don't push any buttons. Because I actually fell for one too here recently that I tell people about, just so that other people don't. Where got a call and it said this person said that they were the manager for a service department with a dealership or something. Can you hear me okay? If you can, press 1. You know, if you can hear me okay. And I wasn't thinking and hit 1, and then it goes to something else, and I realized then that I probably shouldn't have pushed anything. I should have just hung the phone up, you know. And so a lot of times too, my philosophy is because my phone rings a lot, and when it rings, if I don't recognize who it is, I just don't answer it. You know, if it's important, they'll leave a message, you know, and I'll call them back. If you want me to call you back, leave me a message, because there's so many of them. And a lot of times too, I'll look at it and it'll be a local telephone number, but I don't recognize it, and I'll say, well, it must be somebody I know, and I answer it, and then it's a scam.
Yeah.
It's a robocall. You know, because they do spoof numbers and things, and they make it look like it's somebody local calling you. And again, this time of year especially, they know it's Christmas time, and they know a lot of people are shopping and have a little extra money laying around this time of year to do their shopping with and stuff, and they're going to try to get it from you. So you got to be extra diligent to be observant in things. And, you know, same way when you go shopping and things, you know, you should be looking around when you get out of your vehicle in the parking lot, you know, as you're walking through the parking lot, you need to be looking around.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and then try to put your packages and stuff in the trunk of your vehicle. You know, try to lock your stuff up out of sight.
Yeah.
You know, because if people can see it in your car, then it tempts people to want to get in your car. And, you know,
And a lot of times we don't think about that. You know, I gotta go to this store, this store, this store, this store, and you're putting stuff in there, and you go back and you don't think about that, you know, and that's good reminders, because I'm guilty of that sometimes, just sitting somewhere where somebody can just look in and see it.
Oh, absolutely. And then, you know, and if you do leave it in there, at least lock your doors. A lot of people, you know, they get in a hurry and to run in and out. They don't lock their doors. And you'd be amazed at how many people will jump out and run in and leave their vehicle, actually running with their keys in it. You know, and that's an invitation for something bad to happen as well.
Do that anymore.
Yeah, there was a time when you could do things like that, but not anymore. That's why you have so many stolen vehicles, especially this time of year. A lot of people think, well, I'm just running in for just a second. I got to get one thing.
Yeah, or if it's cold out there, want to leave the vehicle running where to stay warm.
Yeah.
Well, and then you guys don't know this, but purses too. When you put your purse in your cart.
Yep. Well, that's something that really and truly, I look for stuff like that as a police officer when you're in the stores and stuff, and I'm always thinking, man, that person's making an easy victim out of themselves when they leave their cart sitting there beside them, put their purse in the top of it, and then they turn and walk away from it to do something or to look at something. And all somebody's got to do is walk by and grab something and be gone with it before you even realize it. So I think, you know, a lot of times, especially this time of year, your purse probably ought to be on your shoulder or something. You know, it's a lot harder for somebody to get into it or take your stuff. But when most people will set it up there in that seat in the cart, you know, and then they get distracted. They're looking at something and not looking, and somebody can grab your wallet out of there or something, or your purse.
That's when you make Greg stand with the cart.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You're over this. You're hovering over this. Well, because a couple things, the purses could get very heavy, you know, so you want to take off, and then you really. I'm one of those. I mean, when I'm shopping, I'm all in. I mean,
My mom has a strategy. She's so funny. She has like purses that are smaller, and she has them around her and in front of her, between her and the cart, and it never is like not in front of her. It's so funny because she's like, well, they're going to take me in the cart or me and whatever with that purse, and she's like, and they're still not going to get a lot of stuff because she doesn't carry all of her stuff at the same time. So if someone does steal her wallet, then they've only gotten like one credit card or this or that, and she never. You know, so
that's a great idea.
But it's funny because she's just like, she's little, so you know, it's like, Mom, they could take it away from you, but she's like, oh no, they're not getting it.
Well, I buckle mine in my purse sometimes.
That's a good idea. Good idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're supposed to buckle your most precious. I have to take care of my purse.
That's right.
Well, anyway, but it is to put the latch on it and buckle it in, you know, it's a good idea. But anyway, the main thing is stay with it or have Greg, he knows the routine. He understands the assignment, gentlemen. He knows the assignment, okay? He knows.
He's a good husband.
This man has been beyond trained, okay? This is wonderful. He's wonderful, okay, on this. But these are good suggestions and good reminders and just kind of, you know, things that we know, but we just have to kind of go back over and remind each other on that. But the thing that I really want to remind everybody, Shop with the Cops is going to be this Saturday. Okay, so and it always happens, our community, like what's going on, you know what I mean? For those that do not catch or didn't get the memo that it's this Saturday, you know what I mean? And we're going to hear sirens, we're going to hear some loudness, and it's going to be a little bit of a party, so to speak, a good celebration.
For just a few hours.
Yes.
That's it. And then, So we'll be, like I said, at Walmart at 8. So that's when you can expect the kids there, and then we'll be there probably about 10:30, somewhere through there, and that's when you'll hear the sirens and see the lights and the parade come through town. So.
All right, just kind of reminding everybody, come out and wave at them and have some fun with it, and it's such a blessing, and hats off to everybody involved in it. You know, I mean, there's so many people that are.
Yeah, there's so many people that have donated, and I've told them, I said, please come to Walmart at 8 and see those kids' smiles and see what you put your money to. And I think there'll be several that show up just to see that.
I love that. And do we have enough shoppers? Do we need anybody to do shopping? I know sometimes volunteers, or do we got quite a bit?
We've had several people volunteer, and
I don't think there's ever a problem on that.
oh,
I think
there's
everybody,
so many people that want to come help, and I don't want to turn anybody away.
Right.
So even if there's nothing, I'm sure there'll be something somebody to shop for. But if there's not, it's worth just coming to see the Shop with the Cop program.
Love, love, love. And then the next day, and then the blessing of the Cram the Cruiser, like having it at Walmart, like I can go in and get my groceries or whatever I need to get, and then grab either a couple more cans. I mean, it's not, you don't, if everybody did 2 cans or a can, you know, I mean, you don't have to go, you can do whatever you can do in your budget.
Yeah,
you
adds
know.
up quick.
Yeah, it does. And grab a few extra, you're right there, it's convenient, just hand it to the officer and onward how you go, you know.
Yeah, I was really surprised last year, Becky, because we call back and forth, see how you guys are doing at the JC store, tell them how we're doing at Walmart and things. And I know last year, you know, there was a steady line of people bringing stuff to us, and there was a local couple that brought us a cart full of turkeys and hams and things, and I was just amazed at the donation they made. And when we talked to Eric and them, that same couple did the same thing at the JC store, the exact same thing.
Well, hats off to them.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
Hopefully they've got
It
this
was
Sunday
impressive.
open.
You know, and so
Yeah, hopefully they're available.
the donations we got was just unbelievable. Like I said, it far exceeded what we thought we would do. We were hoping for 2 cars and ended up filling up like 6 cars last year.
That's
so
great.
It's really was.
I know. Brad and I did it in fair time 4 or 5 years ago, whatever. We filled up the bus out here, and I don't remember how much, but our community is giving.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what a blessing that we live in this community.
It's all
you know?
year round. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just these couple
absolutely.
programs. It's if anybody needs anything, the community's always there to donate. So.
And that's a blessing.
Well, and that's the reason why too we decided that we were going to do the food drive with the drug drop year round, because Paul Cyphers told us, he said the need isn't just
Nope,
during the
exactly right.
holidays.
Right.
The need is always there, even in the non-holiday season. And so in order to help the food bank out throughout the year, when we do our quarterly drug drop, we're also doing those food drives so that we can give food there quarterly, to help out. Because he said, a lot of times people forget about us when it's not the holidays and the donations are down, and the need is still there. There's still plenty of people that need some, need a little help here and there. And so we don't want to forget about the food bank year round. We want to try to help them out.
Yeah, that was our intention
Yeah.
when doing it in the summer. There, that was what we did, and
Good idea.
yeah, and it was a wonderful
Very
thing. Yeah, and Walmart was very good about giving. So we had a lot of donations from Walmart, but also a lot of our, they bring it to the fair, which is our fairs always real good. A lot of times the entry fee to get into our parade, the fair parade, is canned food for the food bank. So I mean,
That's awesome.
yeah, and
And this, it's a community effort, and I'm glad to hear, the JC's right there with us, and this time of year the competition is giving back,
Yeah.
and
Right.
that's a great
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So I'm very, but I am a little. Eric, you've got to not do so much at JC. You've got to win it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I think that's great.
Yeah, I know.
That's great.
We've got to win
But
this
it's
at
just
Walmart
like,
this
you
time.
know, I
All right.
think.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I think it's important it's not just 1 or 2 businesses in our community that give back. We've got great businesses across the board that are normally competitors, but like to come together and this time of
That's
year.
pretty neat.
But we can do that year round too, and I think that's important. That's very
Well, this is
important.
what it's about.
There's so many businesses that have donated to Shop with the Cop.
Definitely. And hats off to all of them and everybody. So now we're the big dance is going to be happening this Saturday. I'm excited about it for sure.
Me too.
So can't wait. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Also, I thought this was kind of funny. It popped up. The number one gift that's guess what the most dangerous gift this year they've said is
Oh.
to give.
Red Ryder. BB gun?
Shoot your
You
eye
watched
out.
that? Yeah, but shoot your eye out. Yeah, it's
That's my
Jesus.
favorite Christmas movie, by the way.
A major award.
Yeah.
No, it was not. The number one is a scooter.
Scooter.
So anybody
Wow.
that has asked for a scooter are going to be having a scooter coming up. They've seen me on a scooter, obviously.
Well,
So
you know.
be very careful. Be very
Just wear a
careful.
helmet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of movies, what's your favorite Christmas movie, Eric?
Oh, probably Christmas Vacation. Yeah, but Home Alone, I've watched already. I've been watching it every night.
Yeah. What about you, Brent?
Oh, I love the Ralphie Marathon. We like to watch A Christmas
yeah.
Story over, and I've seen it 1,000 times, and I still watch it again every year.
What about you, Brent?
I like Christmas Vacation, but I'm old school. I love It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just reminds me of watching Christmas movies with my grandparents.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely. I would have to say that too. Or I like White Christmas too. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. But It's a Wonderful Life probably be it. But we've been doing we have so many ball games, right? You guys, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
this basketball, whew. But in between we've been trying to get like our Christmas movies. We try to watch every one of them, So I still have to watch Charlie Brown. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, that's always a favorite.
Frosty.
Oh,
Frosty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those are classics. So anyway, but we've been hitting it hard. So I've been quoting Christmas movies, a lot for sure. But Eric Mills and our Sheriff Brent Miller, you guys are rock stars. Keep up the great work. And I do love that. I know Brad and we are so grateful for what you do. And I love that our community is. I feel like our community, you guys, we are a great community, and I believe that everybody knows how important you are and what you do. So I pray on a daily basis that you get reminded of that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And our community's rock stars. And
Yeah.
it takes all of us to do it.
Mhm.
So we're blessed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think this one thing you could definitely put on a stamp of Washington County, I would have to say, is number one, we take our children are so important. We do a really good job with our children and giving.
Absolutely.
Sure. All right. So Merry Christmas to you too. I'm gonna
Merry
see you. I'll see you again.
Yes.
We'll be right a few days before Christmas.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
we'll have to do some explaining, Brad, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Not this year. I've been exceptionally good this year.
Just looking at that smile.
I know. Yeah.
Dang it! I thought that would work.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I try to pull out the charm every year.
it doesn't work though. I'm still
All right.
getting cold, I think.
Well, let's thank our sponsors.
All right, we've got Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Kentucky Ann and Cat and Core Recycling, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Lee Wealth Management.
All right, thank you to our wonderful sponsors, and don't forget Mr. SHS tonight. Come support the Lady Lions. It's $5, and it's going to be a lot of entertainment for sure. All right, happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you.
The Boilermakers are going bowling. Here we go.
O'Connell throws it over the middle. A pass is caught. David Bell hammered down by the goal line. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Boilermakers.
Tune in Thursday, December 30th, as your Purdue Boilermakers take on Tennessee. Live from Nashville, Tennessee. This is the Music City Bowl. Coverage begins at 2, right here on the Boilermakers Sports Network. From Learfield.
Touchdown, Boilermakers.
The Indy Farm Expo is back. I'm Eric Pfeiffer, and this is Hoosier Ag Today News, brought to you by the only predictable form of nitrogen, Pivot Bio Proven 40. Predictable, productive, weatherproof. Turn to a better nitrogen. Turn to Pivot Bio Proven 40. The Indiana Farm Equipment and Technology Expo kicks off today at Grand Park in Westfield. The show starts at 9 a.m. and runs until 4, and the expo floor is covered with equipment of all sizes and not necessarily just tractors and planters.
Bain Welker Equipment is a full-line Case IH dealership, but here in the last few years, we've taken on the New Holland Light Construction.
That's Dallas Foster Ag Construction Sales with Bain Welker Equipment.
We've got a mini excavator on the lineup. We have a wheeled skid steer. We have a track skid steer, a compact wheel loader, and dirt scraper.
More details at IndianaFarmExpo.com. Come see us today at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Eric Pfeiffer, Hoosier Ag Today, Indiana's Farm Network.
Bodine's quest to 800 continues in 2022. I'm Kyle Rickey. That story next on NASCAR Hot Pass.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves, restores, and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxid is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now 1-800-829-5688. That's 1-800-829-5688. Again, 1-800-829-5688.
Todd Bodine has 794 starts in NASCAR's National Series, winning 22 times in the Camping World Trucks and 15 times in the Xfinity Series, but has not competed since 2017. That will change for next season, as Halmer Friesen Racing has announced that Bodine will return to the seat of a truck for 6 events to get to that even 800 number and to give Bodine another shot to get to victory lane. Camping World has signed on as the primary sponsor for the truck. That will be a teammate to Series.
Warning. This program may be found offensive by pencil-pushing, bean-counting, research-loving program directors and radio consultants.
6 minutes past the hour from the broadcast plaza and teleport. Counting today, only 3 shows left in the studio. We decommission this one and we move to a new one. Lord willing, January 4th, we'll be live from a new unnamed studio. And we'll launch a new era of the Rick and Bubba Show. Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Helmsy, Eddie Van Adler, all here, Bubba out today.